Yes, if I'm checking, boom, boom, we are live, everyone. So Chaz is already messing up the format of the of the show, and yeah. So welcome everybody to the premiere episode. The
You know
premiere
what?
episode.
It
What?
couldn't have started any better.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be BGW if it wasn't. So
Oh,
yeah,
God.
for everybody that's joining in, please leave your comments, everything. But welcome everybody to the premiere episode of the watch list. Now, let me give you a concept of what the watch list is, right? Well, before we get started, Chazo, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Holiday season has been amazing, and so all is good. All the smiles on this end. How about yourself?
Hey, man, was doing great when I thought that you were actually following what you were supposed to be doing. So it's all good though. It's all good. Of course, we're brand new to the YouTube. My name is Scotland Underwood.
Oh God.
Chaz won't hear for 150. So Chaz, this is your introduction to the team, man. Introduce yourself, man.
Peace. It's your boy Chaz Billy, aka my man Zoe. I am the fourth member of the BGW. I am the last draft pick of the crew. You know what I'm saying?
You about to get traded because you're not following directions.
It seemed like I'm not gonna be long on the team.
You're not following directions. Man.
I was on a two-way contract. I'm going right back to the G League, buddy.
So the premise of this show that you're watching, the watch list, the concept, Chaz, correct me if I'm wrong, but prior to you coming on the show, you said that you were slowly getting back into wrestling, correct?
Yes.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff that you probably haven't seen over the years, right?
Correct.
Right. So I'm thinking, boom, new format. We're on YouTube now, right? Why not have a show with Chaz where I tell Chaz to watch a match, we go over the match, the concept, everything. But Chaz here was like, you know what? I don't need to do that. But I'm about to just go in here blindly. Does that sound about right, bro?
70%. 70%. You're not totally wrong. It's my fault though. I misunderstood. In my brain, I thought we were gonna watch this shit together and live talk about it as we're watching it together.
You know what? And maybe like in the, because like I said, this is brand new, so we'll test it out, see how it goes, right? But a lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing, I've already seen before, right?
Correct.
So, but it's
correct.
Miscommunication. It's all.
But I'll take that. I will definitely take that. That's something I will take and learn from. I trust and believe this will not happen again. I will, because normally when you send me shit, I watch it every single time. I just thought we were doing something.
It's the holidays. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Let's chop it up to that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
oh God.
With that being said, it's actually perfect because, so obviously, because you are still learning, you're still getting like the knowledge and everything like that. Obviously, we could start off with like some classic All Japan, some classic New Japan, Stardom, All Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. We could do a whole lot of things, but I also got to show you the other side to the game as well, right? So today is more so conversation, right? Now I did my homework. I rewatched what I needed to rewatch, and today's topic is Zeus. Now, are you familiar with Zeus?
So I'm familiar with the actor that is Zeus. I'm familiar with the individual who played Debo on Friday. I had no earthly. I knew this before, talking to y'all, but coming to the game, I knew that okay, he used to be a wrestler. So I kind of just left it at that. I really didn't have a rhyme or reason to check him, but at the same time, my love for the game now is not where it was before. So had it been where it is now, I would have, did my more research and went back like, oh shit, he was wrestler, black wrestler at that. Let me go check it out. Let me see a couple of his matches. So, but I knew he was an actor before. I had no idea he was a wrestler in no way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was actually the opposite because the first time I ever saw Zeus was my family's from Scotland and everything. So there used to be this lady, Miss Teresa, that had like a whole bunch of old WWF like home video type joints, the Coliseum videos, the classics, right? And she had No Holds Barred, the movie, and that was my first time seeing Zeus. And then I saw like I think it was Hogan and Boss Man in the cage, and Hogan's coming down to the ring, and I think this was like 2 months before the movie actually came out. And so Hogan's coming down to the ring, and then Zeus is standing on the steps, and he's like this, right? And he's got, remember on the Power Rangers when the Green Ranger, when he had like the shield?
With the shield, yep.
Zeus had that on for his shoulder pads, right? He's standing there like this, right? And then Hogan, Hogan always used to do that stupid like you know what I mean? And so like he's like sitting there confused, and like Vince is hamming it up, and then Zeus goes for like these like bop, like on his shoulders, not the head, the shoulders, right? And that was my introduction to Zeus, right? So obviously, in order to know the story of how we got here, Zeus was in the movie No Holds Barred. I think it was the first venture Vince McMahon did into film, right? And so have you ever seen No Holds Barred?
Trying to remember. I don't think so.
Man, no. God, goodness gracious, dog.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
This is about to be the first and last episode. You didn't do anything I told you to do.
I didn't do shit. I feel like shit.
It's all good. It's all good. Because you know what? Maybe this could be a two-parter then. This could be a two-parter.
I would like that. Because
this could be a two-parter.
For those of you guys watching don't know, I asked the team, the group, to send me stuff, especially after every podcast, and I watch it. Religiously. I'll literally sit and I'll have my 2K or whatever, and I'm going back and forth. You know what I mean? So I can be a student in the game. This was the first time I ever didn't watch it because, again, I thought some dumb shit. Sorry. Idiot. All right? I'll take it. Fucking idiot. This guy stinks. I'll take it. So I would like to come back because I would love to study this tape, especially when we get out, stop doing this. So yeah, I would love a part 2 of this so I can actually have a full-length conversation about it.
Oh, that's even better, right? So what we'll do is, see, this is the beauty of BGW. It doesn't matter if we're live, if we're taping. We go off the fly. We do our own thing. Consistency is not our best suit, right? So why not make it even better and make it into our suit? See what I'm doing here? You see what I'm doing? I
like it. That's why you the booker. That's why you the Beyonce.
Gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop.
Yes.
Not on live. Walk right into that one. Not on live TV.
I'm sorry. My bad.
So what today could be is the setup, and then we do a part 2 maybe later in the week where you actually do what you're supposed to do.
Yes. My instructions, correct.
Yes, but in the concept, you know what I mean, we can still talk about Zeus.
Yeah,
and maybe even just like the overall impact, right? Because Zeus technically has only had 4 matches.
Completely.
4 matches. 2 in WWE, 1 in Puerto Rico, and 1 in WCW.
And you know what's wild? When I did do my semi-home run, went back, I was like, the way he looked and the way he was kind of set up, especially like you said with him and Hogan, I would have thought he had more match. It felt like on my end, like, damn, he must have more than, a couple matches, because his aura about it just seemed like he had more than what I would have never known he had just 4 matches. Like, and especially when you're doing at that time, Hogan was, big shit. So anything that's connected with Hogan, you would think that kind of just not necessarily send you to the moon, but at least gives you that credibility. Like, hey, I did something with Hogan. Why not book me for, X, Y, and Z? Now you can talk more about, I guess how good he was or how not good he was in the ring. But I just based off that alone, I would have thought he had more than 4 matches.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it's the thing I always liked about Zeus, and I feel in a different time period, maybe if somebody had caught him on the wrestling side before he got into acting, because he had the look, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like imposing,
Yeah.
terrifying. He
Yeah.
had that lazy eye. So
yeah.
Man, look, Shawn Michaels.
You trying to get this shit canceled before? Because
Hey,
you're already blocked. So you
already
going?
blocked. You know what I mean? Yeah, Shawn Michaels not gonna do nothing to me. Yeah, well, fuck. You know what I mean? But Zeus, he had the look and the aura about him. So doing this movie with Hogan, obviously they're trying to make Hogan at this time like they're trying to make him with the Schwarzeneggers, the Stallones, like he's trying to transition into acting, right? Don't know if you've ever seen Hulk Hogan acting. Trash.
Now right? I have seen that, and it's sad that I've seen that before that, but I wish I hadn't. And it's
trash. But what does every action movie in the 80s need? They be that big brolic villain.
Correct.
And knowing Hogan's reputation, he was probably be like, I want to beat a black man.
Correct. Correct.
Right. So that's where, you know, and obviously Tiny Lester Jr., you know what I mean, God rest his soul. He was a star athlete, like I believe in his younger days, but obviously with his size, like he just fits. I hate to say it, the typecast of like the bully, the, you know what I mean, like the muscle and everything.
Yeah.
And so the premise of Zeus in WWE starts with he's Hogan's villain in the movie. Spoiler alert, Hogan beats him in the movie. And in true fashion, Zeus was like, nah, bro, I gotta get my lick back. And so kayfabe, he followed him to WWE. I guess like to blend like there is
kind of break the fourth wall.
Yeah, right. And so he at this point he's being set up, he's being groomed for Hogan. Hogan needs a big monster. There was actually a rumor I remember you hearing as a kid that the original plan for WrestleMania 6 wasn't Hogan and Warrior, but it was to be Hogan and Zeus.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But we're thinking about, you know what I mean, we got to look at it from the concept of this is the golden age, right? This is not necessarily the in-ring work that we're paying attention to.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're trying to fill seats.
Correct.
Right? And it just so happens that we're trying to tie in this movie as well. So obviously they're coming off of, if I'm not mistaken, their most successful WrestleMania, like commercial-wise, with WrestleMania 5. And it was Hogan, it's Macho Man, main event, right? So now you got to pivot. You remember, you got to remember that from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, there was no pay-per-views. Right? There's no pay-per-views. It's the open market. So, you know,
and this is like the mid 80s.
This is 1989.
Okay. So before we had the famous 4, it was really just the 2, like the big 2.
No, but by 89, they had their big 4.
Okay.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so think of the gap. So WrestleMania is in the beginning of April. SummerSlam is in August.
Oh, so that was okay. Got you. There was no like fillers like we have now.
Yeah.
Before,
you know.
Okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Maybe a Saturday night lot or Saturday night main event at this time, but even then, like that was starting to dwindle down. So now you got to get from Mania to SummerSlam. You have to obviously get to a big enough match that's going to draw people in, right? But then you also got to promote this movie, No Holds Barred, right? And it just seemed fitting. Obviously, if Zeus has never wrestled before, you can't put him in the ring by himself, right?
True. I'm thinking, because I'm going off your logic of if he's never wrestled before, but we're talking about the golden age where, like you just said, it's not necessarily thinking about in-ring ability, but trying to get asses in the seats. Shouldn't that been, like, I guess, just enough? Based off, again, I'm just trying to put two and two together, but just based off what you're saying, okay, maybe not should have, but could have that been enough if we're not necessarily focusing on the graps, but putting asses in the seats.
You're going to notice when you finally get a chance to sit down and watch SummerSlam 89, especially when you get to the main event, right? The crowd reaction alone, the match is terrible.
Right.
The match is terrible, right? One person carried that entire match, and that was Macho Man, right? But when you're looking at the crowd reaction was ridiculous, right? And sometimes I feel like that's a lost art. Sometimes the crowd takes a match from being maybe a 1-star to passable.
Yeah, right? I agree. Yes.
And once again, you got to remember, this is 1989, WWE. They're not really caring about in-ring work. Now, I say that to say that it's not like there wasn't great wrestling going on.
Right. I was just kind of thinking about this match in particular based off the build-up from the movie Here We Are Again, and that being alone. That was really it.
No, that's fair. But like I said, they needed somebody to carry the match. Somebody didn't need to be the workhorse in the match.
Okay, gotcha.
We're talking about Zeus,
right?
Who never had a match. We got Hogan,
right?
And we got Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Got it. Okay, say less.
So you have to put somebody in there that's gonna make
everybody look good,
and that's savage.
That's savage, no question. Yeah. Got it.
So, I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, even though you've never seen the match, you've obviously seen pictures of Zeus and everything like that. You know what I mean? So I guess we can pivot, and I can ask you, when you look at like a big man in wrestling, right? Mm. What is your prototype? Like, what do you want to see out of like big, you know what I mean? Like that big broading, big brawling style. What do you expect to see from them? What is your anticipation on them as a talent? Like, are you looking for 5-star classics? Are you looking for them to just go in there, wreck shit, leave? Like, how do you perceive big man wrestling to be?
Great question. When I think about big man wrestling now and then what I see today, ideally, I would love to see. You're a big man, so when I think off the top of my dome, I think about people like Vader, where you look at Vader and he was kind of like ahead of his time, to where I am a massive big dude, but don't let this shit fool you. I can move and groove with the best of them. I can do moonsaults and I can fly around the ring and things of that nature. So to me, in my head, I love a big man that's dominant as fuck. Like, you are who you are, choke slams, big boots, like just wrecking shit. But it also throws you people off if I can still do the things that you think I can't do. Okay, I can go through the ropes, right? I can do some shit like some luchador shit. On top of that, I think about how, I guess you can consider him a big man. I think about how like Undertaker kind of over time developed a style about throwing in like walking on the rope or doing a submission as he got older, kind of like, you know, Jordan, where it's like, okay, I'm older, I can't do the same thing I used to, but let me adapt to my game. When I look at big men nowadays, I still want to see, and this is where I want to see, kind of going on top, but this is where I want to see Trick Williams to kind of develop his game to the next level. I'm a big dude. I'm a tall cat. I take up space. So let me do what the fuck I'm doing. It's dominant to where there's nothing you can do with me. But it's the moment you think I'm like just limited in one box, oh, here's a fucking moonsault out of nowhere. So mind you, not only am I massive, all this weight is coming down on you. That to me, in my brain now, is like for me, the prototypical big man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, as you were talking, my mind pivot, right? The Zeus conversation will continue, right? But I think this first episode, let's focus on the big men. You know what I mean? That way, it is a great transition into the next episode, right?
Right.
Because we can still tap in with Zeus, but as you're saying, like the big man style is there's so many people that have a concept of what a big man should be, right? So we're looking at it from if you're looking at it and you're watching from a 1989 standpoint, like I'm a fan, like I've always been a believer, like I loved like a guy like Zeus. No wrestling ability. Like I don't want to see you doing arm drags. you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want to see you doing like, you know what I mean? Like tope con here, you know, con helos, you know what I mean? Like I want to see you go in there, wreck shit, right? Yeah, Zeus wasn't the most athletically gifted in the ring, right? But and this might be a credit on, I hate to do it, but a credit for Hogan. Hogan made him look terrifying, right? Hogan will clothesline him like 5 times and he still wouldn't go down, right? The trope of the underdog going against like the giants is you have to sell me that what the giant is doing to you is way worse than what another opponent could be, right? It comes down to your selling, right?
Question. Let me cut you off. I want you to keep cooking. So with just that idea of what you liked in the big man back in that time frame, late 80s, early 90s, where does, I know how you feel, but now that you're saying this, I would like to get your opinion on it. Where does Vader fall in for you in this conversation, or you just want to stick on Zeus?
No.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. This is the
first
episode
okay.
to watch. Yeah. Vader, number one.
Okay.
Yeah, from a big man standpoint, he reinvented the style of the big man, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna say that like there weren't any athletic big men, right? Oh, hold on. I got to shout out my man Corey real quick. Missed opportunity for WWE. No, that's real. No, that's facts. That would have been tough, actually. That would have been tough. But no, Vader reinvented the wheel of the big man. Kamala, Andre the Giant in the early 80s, you know what I mean? Like moving and grooving, you know what I mean? Like Abdullah the Butcher.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Abdullah the Butcher, you know what I mean? Like you'll see in the match with Zeus by 1990, Abdullah the Butcher was just, he got off a name alone, right? He you know what I mean? He was doing the violent style in like 77, but Abdullah can move.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love the block from the
dark side of the ring.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Vader had the ability to he was terrifying, right? But then what's even more terrifying than like somebody coming off the top rope? Somebody that's 450 pounds
doing a damn moonsault. What? That's why I couldn't be a wrestler.
Right? Bro, have you been on the top rope?
Nick, I have been nowhere near a ring. You understand? Listen, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. It's
terrifying.
It looked like my hat goes off. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. It is not as easy to look. It is nothing about it is fake. I don't want no parts of that shit, bro. None. That's why I'm on this side with you.
Look, I've been on the top rope one time, right? Hitting the ropes is dope. Boom, boom, everything's good. Then I was like, you know what? Let me see what's up. Oh, this is high. Nah, bro. Nah. There's a reason why God put me in the position. Yeah.
Oh, this is high.
Oh no.
No, I'm good. I'm all right.
And then keep in mind that was a training ring.
Yeah.
This is not even like a WWE style ring. No, sir. Right. But anyway,
yeah.
Right, continuing on. It's night and day, right? It's night and day. A Vader to a Zeus is night and day. Right.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, it's all about like the fear that somebody can put into your heart, right?
Yes.
It's literally the comic book method. You know what I mean? The superhero has to go against like the big brawling villain. Like yeah, you got your intellectual heels, you know what I mean? You got your cowardly heels. I'm always tapped in for the monster, right? So Psycho Sid is a perfect example of that, right? Because, and I say because Sid and Zeus kind of fall in the same category, not in terms of work rate. A lot of people give Sid like Sid wasn't a good worker. Tell me a time that Sid's been on your television screen and it looked like he looked like he belonged.
Right.
He what like a definition of a main eventer.
Right.
If Zeus had took the route and went and became a wrestler, main eventer, you're selling shows out, right? Because guess what, dog? To a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old in 1989, do you think they care
about the graps?
Yeah, no. No, dog.
Oh man, what a hard draft.
Damn, he didn't. Damn, he put on a sharpshooter. What? No.
And to your point, now that you're putting it like that, yeah, because you know, I when it comes to Sid Vicious specifically, I hear the flack, I hear the things, but if I'm just using your logic, using your point, you're right. As far as when we just think about put Vader aside and just focus on what a big man is, and more specifically a heel big man, Sid had it all, right? Maybe not necessarily the best, you know, on the mic, whatever, but everything else, he had the look. Oh, go ahead.
Sid was amazing on the mic, man.
Really?
Yes. Why? Relax.
But you know what? I'm coming into I do remember seeing him on WCW. Now, granted, that was later on down. So maybe I'm basing what I saw on that. Again, this is what this conversation is for. I can always go back and I can always change my opinion. But just based off your logic, I couldn't agree more. Sid fit the bill of what a heel big man was supposed to be.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the important thing about just big men in wrestling in general. Like, you have to fit a bill of like you're the bill. There's a reason why there was that trope in the 80s where you had to have your big baby face go against like monsters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the reason why like the Undertaker in the early parts of the gimmick in the career that he went against King Kong Bundy and he went against Kamala and he went against Giant Gonzalez. You know what I mean? Because 9 out of 10 times, that's what people want to see, right? Andre and Kamala was a huge moneymaker in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Because, we've seen, we've seen these giants. Perfect example to it is WrestleMania 3, right? The match of the night was... The match of the night.
Yeah, sorry, man, that's a good one. That's what I remember. I remember that a lot from WC.
Go, Bird!
My man was sick. All you needed was like the camera shot going up. Go, Bird! That's a good one.
And that's why Sid is on my top 10 list, right? But like I said, like an Andre Kamala money feud. WrestleMania 3 is a perfect example. The match of the night, the general consensus in the industry, it's Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage. No disrespect to those gentlemen. I love that match.
Right.
You know what sold the Pontiac Silverdome.
Right.
It's Hogan and Andre.
Right. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
And what is that match? A big man.
Right.
Big
baby face, big man versus heel.
Even before, like, going back to Zeus, even before Zeus made his debut, the match he was interfering in was Hogan and Bossman. And that won't lean Bossman either. That was Cobb County, Georgia barbecue Bossman.
With a side of coleslaw.
Well, huge, right? But then, like I said, like you look at somebody like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Right. Another one. Yeah.
But in a weird way, Bam Bam was an excellent big man, but Bam Bam moved.
Very much so. Gracefully at that.
That cartwheel? You
would have thought he you would have thought this man was taking ballet lessons the way he moved and with all that size. Like that's not supposed to happen. And he did it, and it was effortless, right? It never seemed like he was trying too hard. It's just who he was.
Right. What did you think of Mabel from Men on a Mission? Viscera. Are you familiar with this?
I am. I'll be honest with you, man. He never did it for me.
No.
He never. And I remember two versions. I remember the Ministry of Darkness version when it was him, Undertaker, and what was the other cat he used to tag with a lot?
Midi.
I remember that version. And then I remember a version, this is vaguely, so you probably have to help me with this. Mohawk, purple, gold star.
That was Men on a Mission.
So I didn't see that. Okay, so I wasn't able to really see that version. So again, basing off what I remember, like I can say, like I remember that really didn't do a lot for me. Now, darkness wise, heel wise, got it. He didn't do much from what I'm saying. Like, yeah, man, he had it all. So, in your opinion, what did you think about him?
I always thought Mabel was one of those type of guys that, once again, like I have an ability to separate. Like, I know when Mabel was stepping in the ring, like it's not gonna be.
It's not right.
It's not a Kobashi Masawa match that I'm watching. Right. I know exactly what I'm about to get. At the same time, like Mabel was a true like 500+ pound dude. Right?
Very much so.
And even like the way he would hit the rope or hit like he would throw somebody in the corner, then he would go do like the running avalanche. Something like that even just like impressed me because, bro, you 500 pounds and you're like you're getting the steam, but like you're moving, you're running.
I'll give you that for sure. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or like, yeah, I mean, he always had that. He's the reason why, like, I think he like leg dropped Taker and he like broke his orbital bone.
Oh, but it's the one that a whole thing. Like,
yeah, he broke his orbital bone.
I vaguely remember that.
Unsafe working environment. Right.
So,
go ahead. No, go.
I was gonna you make it, and that's I guess I think I need especially when I'm going back now and looking at stuff. I need to, because I'm still like what I like. I'm still appreciate what I. But, and again, another person, shout out to Hearts, where you got to remember that you can't base your opinion off something that you haven't even seen yet, right? Or you can't base your opinion off something that you don't have a lot of knowledge on, right? Now I have to retool and rethink a lot of things when it comes to wrestling, because now I do have an independent mind, and I do have an appreciation for graps, and I do have appreciation for history, and I do like to study, and I do like to listen, and I do like to pay attention. So it's like, all right, well, maybe it's not this sort of wrestling, and nobody's saying it's this, but you can still find an appreciation for something about it, or look at it from a different perspective where, all right, even if you still don't really fuck with it, there is something good about it if you're just looking from it from, like you said, a big man heel perspective. Okay, in that aspect, I'm not looking for technical wrestling, but if you can do some shit that you ain't supposed to be doing and it still make it look good, all right, I'm gonna give you props on that one. You know what I'm saying? The way you broke down Viscera, okay, damn. Made a good point. He was 500+, but you're doing cartwheels. I can remember that. That's dope as fuck. You ain't supposed to be doing that.
And I think that's why like this series is gonna be not only fun, but it's essential, because it gives you with fresh eyes the opportunity to see a whole structure. You know what I mean? Like when I tell you I'm about to throw some wild shit at you, like we're not just sticking with like the traditional, like I'm about to throw everything at the book at you, because there's a whole different style that you can appreciate that you maybe just have never seen before.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, from my standpoint, I like revisiting things, looking at it from, new eyes. You know what I mean? Like watching the Zeus match, I actually did what I was supposed to do. So I actually watched it. Right?
Hey, fuck you, man. Golly. All right, I got it. Damn.
But as I'm watching it, I'm like, damn, I really can appreciate I can appreciate somebody like Macho Man, because Macho Man sold you on how great and how powerful Zeus is.
Yeah.
I can appreciate the crowd being invested into it, no matter what else is on the card. This is the match we want to see.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like today the big man style I think it's more appreciated than it was like in the 90s, right? You got your Dijaks, your Keith Lees, your Brian Cages, your I said Bronson Reed. You have like just, for examples, Trick Williams, you know what I mean? Like, and I think people misconstrue the concept of a big man. Like, they have to be like 400 pounds. No, 6'5" and up, or 6'7", 6'8". You know what I mean? Like,
more so a height than weight.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think that's the important thing about big man wrestling in general, is just the overall concept. Like, sometimes you just want to see like wreckage. You don't want to see, you can appreciate the technical finesse of something or the high flying style, but like at the end of the day, man, like I love like 5-minute battles, 6-minute battles.
And I'll definitely, I'll give myself this confidence. We know, when we can look at something and be like, all right, this is just not good, right? Like, it's just trash, right? I can say that and stick or stand by it. But like you said, now I want to make sure, okay, before I go to that length, remove what I really like in wrestling, remove it bias, and just let me see, okay, can I sit here and watch, like you said, can I sit here and be enjoyed for 5 minutes and not want to turn or get up? If you can do that, I can find some appreciating it. So if it's two small people, 2 women, 2 men, big, whatever the case may be, can I sit and enjoy this shit and be like, this shit cooked, and not be like, oh, I wish they would have did like a submission here on top. Like, not every match has to give me that. Just be a good match, wherever you're a big man or whatever type of style you have. Just give me something good. Or even if it's like not, let me say that, make it entertainable, make it enjoyable, make it, that's the thing, because you might have matches where it's some type of gimmick or some type of dumbass spiel, right? All right, and then you just have wrestlers who might think the same, but you know what? We gonna turn lemons into lemon fucking aid, and we gonna still make it enjoyable. So for me, that's just where I'm at. I'm gonna always love superb wrestling, superb grab, superb high flying, but I'm not about to sit here and be like, okay, if I don't get that, then I'm tuned off, right? If it's an enjoyable match, I love Bronson Reed. It's funny because I love watching Bronson Reed Ibar, and it's funny because I remember a time where I'm not fucking sitting watching Ibar. But you said
you won't hit yet.
Right, I'm not wasting my time. What is that?
Yeah, you won't
now
hit
it's
yet.
like, oh no, this is some good shit. Let me sit my ass down because this is enjoyable wrestling.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm with you, man. And again, I'm glad, but take away wrestling side, this is who I am in my life at 35. I'm open to learning. I'm open to knowledge. I don't have all the keys, but I want to learn. I'm gonna still like what I like, and I'm gonna still stand by what I like and what I dislike. But that doesn't mean I can't change my opinion based on new knowledge or new facts. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you stay growing, especially in this wrestling game. Especially, I've missed so much, right? And now I'm just like, feed me more, give it all to me. I'll still have my opinion, but at the same time, if maybe you can change it, and if you can't, cool. All right, this is my new perspective. So this is why when you presented this to me, I was all in, because we do it, on the side, of course, but having this one-on-one time, having this where you like, Chaz, here's a list, go study this next spot or next one, we're going to sit here and talk about it. Chaz, tell me why you did X, Y, and Z. All right, I respect your opinion, but here's, maybe you should shift it a little bit. This, and then not just for me, anybody that watches is maybe in the same space. Damn, you know what, Chaz is just like me, you know what I'm saying? And he has a, it's more important to have a village that supports you versus, people in the IWC or people that just think, because you don't have this, you ain't shit. It's not how you grow. It's not how you push the culture forward.
And you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna wrap up soon, but the important thing is, like, yes, this is you and me. You know what I mean? Word to Nolo, word to Matt. Anybody that ever wants to come on this show and just talk graps, this is what
Absolutely.
this pod is for. Is to just talk graps. Like I said, this is not going to be on audio. This is strictly YouTube exclusive for those platforms. But the whole concept of this is to introduce new ideas, new matches. You know what I mean? Things that you may have seen. Like you may love a match that's completely random, but you don't have no way to talk about it with. Come talk to us about it. You know what I mean? Like there's matches I know I haven't seen that I want to see. You know what I mean? And I think what we're going to do, especially, we're going to treat this as the pilot episode. Right? Now that we have an understanding of
you a shady motherfucker. Because I saw what you did. We'll treat it as the pilot. Because there's flaws in the pilot, right?
But then, like I said, we're going to have episodes. Hey, you want to come watch this shit live with us? We'll make it happen. We want to put people on to wrestling that they love.
Yeah.
Conversations that you love. Conversations that you're not able to have. So that's all I got.
I wanted to make sure I got this in before we wrapped it up. Because you spoke on something that was important to me. When you talk about wrestling in the 80s, late 80s specifically, and that was under, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Vince Jr. or Senior at that time?
It would like Vince Jr. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When you think about Zeus and you think about, us as Black people, unfortunately, when we have to try to break through the glass ceiling or break through the door, there is moments and times where we have to question, if I do this, am I considered a sellout? Am I not doing, if I do this, will my people still love me? Because again, this might be my only way in to bring people along with me. So in that aspect, when you talked about how, we all know how Hogan is a racist and things of that nature. When you talked about how Hogan got into the movie field, and like you said, in every big 80s movie, you need a heel, you need a protagonist, and the heel has to be bully type thug, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, those labels come to us, or when you look at us, those labels seem to fit us. So when you think about like Zeus, Tiny Lester, and his legacy, how do you look at what he did in that space, and do you feel he maybe could have done something else, or wasn't in a space was like, you know what, if I have to be this image what they think we are in order to break through and bring other people with me, then I'll do that?
The best answer I could give you for that, Zeus was just in the last WWE 2K game. And True. if that True. Doesn't, like, there's a lot of people they can put in that spot. And he's in the game. And that tells me everything I need to know about the legacy. Even if he was only 4 matches, you know what I mean? Tiny Lester Jr. made an impact, right? Obviously, put it like this. There's 2 names people know him by. Debo and Zeus. Right? There's people that know him from Zeus, probably never even seen him in WWE. You know what I mean? Like, right. And I think, like I said, I do truly believe if somebody, like a trainer or wrestler, had saw him prior to him making movies, Zeus would have been in wrestling. He fit. You know what I mean? Like, he had the character, the look. You know what I mean? Like, he just fit. And he didn't look out of place. I know a lot of people be like, he didn't look like he belonged in the ring. Newsflash, yo, there was a lot of people in the 80s that didn't need to be in the ring. You know what I mean?
Cornucopia, motherfuckers.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but guess what? He got in the ring.
He did.
Right?
He did. Yeah.
And whether that was to further his career, maybe he even considered going into wrestling. Who knows? You know what I mean? We might not know that. But what I'm saying is that it's 2023. And here we are talking about Zeus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't know who Zeus is from wrestling, I guarantee you've seen Friday.
Right.
You know what I mean? He is, in a sense, he left his impact. He left a cultural mark in the industry. And so when you actually sit and watch his matches, yeah, you'll laugh, you know what I mean? You'll be like, yo, what the fuck was that? But then at the same time, you'll stop and you'll be like, I see he could have been.
Yeah, I see why.
You know, he could have been in the game.
Right.
Right. But that's for episode 1. The true episode 1.
Yeah.
The true episode 1. You know what I mean? And then keep it on, and then so we already got episode 1 officially set. It will be Zeus. You're gonna watch the stuff that you're gonna watch. Right. But then going forward from that point on, I'm not going to decide what you watch because that'd be too easy. We're going to let the fans decide. The co-host of BGW.
I'm with it.
You know what I mean? So
what number we at?
For what?
The co-host. How many number co-hosts we at?
Oh,
like 4.
We're about to hit 42, 4,200.
Y'all love us. Y'all really fuck with us.
But yeah, so you know what I mean? After this week, we'll do polls where I'll shoot out some matches, whatever the people want to see us talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. And then, of course, you know what I mean? Like, you'll be able to find us on the regular pod, volume 51, coming in January, at the beginning of January. You know what I mean? Do you have anything you need to plug before we wrap up, my boy?
I do. And it involves you.
Whoa. Whoa.
It involves you. So, y'all know about my man, Poetic Scotland, the wrestler.
They don't know.
You know what? Let me scratch that. Y'all have this idea of what Scotland is in this wrestling space, but y'all about to allow him to reintroduce himself to who he is now as Poetic Scotland in this new space. Come January 1st, just be on the lookout. I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you don't know, I am also a videographer by trade. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to work with this man on something that he lost his shit when he saw it. So that was all the confirmation I needed. So yeah, that is the main thing I want to plug, the reintroduction of Poetic Scotland. And we'll leave it at that.
2024 BGW, poetry, videography. There's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Obviously, us doing this YouTube thing, brand new, but guess what? We about to take it over. Podcast game, we about to take it over. Poetry, about to take it over. That's what we do.
The fuck? That's all I got, my G.
Yes. So obviously you can find me on X at Poetic Scotland. You can find me on Instagram at Scotland_Underwood.
You can find me on X, my man Zoe. You can find me on IG, Chaz OB, and you can find me in your bit. No, that's Mac.
No, we saved that. We saved that for the next one. But yes, go follow Nolo. Go follow DMAC.
Please follow Nolo. Please follow DMAC.
Go follow the pod page, BGW Pod, across all platforms. And of course, I'll get a chance to actually do this. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe because it helps us out a whole lot. Chaz, unless you ain't got anything else, my brother.
I'm done, my G. This was episode 0.
You see how we brought it back around? That's what we do.
This shit work, goddamn it.
We made it work.
That's what we are.
So until next time, we are out.
Love.